Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 12 of TEW 2016. We're going to be looking SmackDown Live today. Without any further ado, let's get on with the show. We start off with Samoa Joe coming out to the ring because he was in that tag team main event last week, and I don't think I think he might have briefly touched on it in the promo at the start of the SmackDown, but he hasn't gone into depth about why he's attacking Daniel Bryan. And basically, it all boils down to Daniel Bryan. He's a cripple, washed up, old hag who just come out of retirement, and I'm not going to let someone like that step straight to the top of the SmackDown roster, thinking he's better than people like me, when I've been sitting here busting my ass trying to earn what he's going to be given, and he should be the true number one contender for the WWE title. And he turned his Daniel Bryan to a match at Backlash. And he threatens that he's going to put Bryan back on the injury list and retire him again. Just a quick tag team match. Rusev Day pick up a win over the Colognes, just to give Rusev Day a nice win. After the match, Aiden English calls out Elias, because Elias and him have had a little thing about who's the best singer. But then he starts to sing, and then Rusev takes the mics off his hands. And Rusev will actually start singing his own song in his own special way about Rusev Day, calling out Elias and also challenging him to a match at Backlash, one-on-one, him versus Rusev. They cut backstage, we see obviously a limousine pull up, and then Carmella steps out. She's all like in a dress, fancily dressed, not dressed for competition, championship over her shoulder, champagne glass in her hand. And Renee Young comes up to her and she asks her about Naomi, about how Naomi made her tap out 2 weeks ago, and how she laid Naomi out last week, so she clearly sees Naomi as a threat. Carmella's like, no, I don't see Naomi as a threat, she's scrub. She can't beat me, and she won't beat me, and I'll prove that when I defend my title against her at Backlash. We're doing a lot of officially confirming matches for Backlash on this show. Also, a quick update on Backlash, I've just remembered now. Dolph Ziggler is out for 3 months, so he won't be in a title match at Backlash against Seth Rollins, but luckily we do have one more show, the go-home show for Raw, to actually sort that situation out, so stay tuned for that to find out what the fix will be. Quick little match, Benjamin pins Xavier Woods for pay dirt, just to give him a nice little win. After the match, Xavier Woods is out cold after he lost to Shelton Benjamin. Harper and Rowan would come in and start to attack him, and then the other two members of the New Day, Big E and Kofi, would charge out from the back and send them tumbling over the top rope and forcing them to retreat. Then all 3 members of New Day would stand tall, because with the Bludgeon Brothers retreating, setting up because New Day are the number one contenders for the tag team title. So that it's not officially announced, but that will be another match for Backlash. Backstage, you've got Becky Lynch and Dakota Kai talking to each other, chatting about how them and Naomi beat Carmella and the Iconics 2 weeks ago, and how Becky made Billie Kay tap out last week. And she's like, oh, they think they are going to come straight here and be the top of SmackDown, but I put them back in their place. Then Billie and Peyton walk back in off screen, they'll be like, oh, you got lucky last week, mate. We're together, we are good, but no, alone we are good, but together we are unstoppable. There's no way that you could beat the iconic tandem of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce in a tag team match tonight, you two. So that match is made official. It'll be Becky and Dakota Kai against Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Cut to Paige backstage in her office, and Daniel Bryan walks in, telling her about, hey, I accept what the challenge that Joe put out for Backlash. Me and him gonna have a match. But he's like, hey, but I'm here tonight, I'm ready to go. What have you got planned for me? And Paige is like, well, there's no match currently penciled in for you. And then Zelina walks in and she wants the same. She's saying, well, when's Andrade going to get booked in his match? Why have we left him off the show? And Paige is like, I think I found a compromise here. I'm going to book Daniel Bryan against Andrade Cien Almas later on tonight. So that should be a nice little match. No Way Jose, unannounced, makes his debut on SmackDown after the win they aired last week. Comes dancing his way down to the ring, and he waits in the ring for his opponent, and then the lights go out, and then the spotlights start flashing around, and smoke rises from the floor, and then out comes Sanity. All 4 members of Nikki Cross have got her Insanity here in this universe. They're getting called up as a 4-way package. But they were also making their debut on SmackDown here tonight. And it's going to be one member of Sanity going on against No Way Jose in both their debuts. And that one guy will be Killian Dane. And he'll beat No Way Jose in a short match to get them both on the show, to make them get them both debuted, put Sanity over as a threat, and sort of just have No Way Jose around, because he's not going to be an upper carder. He's not going to win many matches. He's going to be a hand on the roster. Backstage, we've got these 4 old friends here, the 4 on the left, obviously, talking about old times in Japan and Too Sweet in and blah blah blah. When Miz and his new Miz Taraj would walk in off camera, and he'd be being the Miz, he'd be mocking, Bullet Club this, Nevitt Club, blah blah blah. And of course he'd throw up a Too Sweet as well. Him and Sabatelli and Moss would do a Too Sweet. And then AJ's like, well, for one night only, how about me, Finn, Gallows and Anderson, we get the band back together and we face your little band of misfits, or Mizfits, in the main event. And the Miz is like, I'll accept your challenge, but it won't be 4-on-3 because there's another guy who I know has an issue with you, that being Shinsuke Nakamura. So it'll be an 8-man tag. It'll be Miz and his Mr. Raj with Nakamura against, well, basically the Bullet Club. Just turn these guys already. Should have been facing the start. Here we go. Nice little match. Andrade versus Daniel Bryan. 66 C+. Actually pretty good for Andrade at this stage of the mod. He's improving. Him and Zelina have 0 chemistry together, but I'm refusing to take her off him because he needs her. After the match, Joe charges in and chokes Bryan out again, because that's what Joe does. He's a badass. He doesn't take no shit from anyone, and Bryan has been laid out again by Joe. Backstage, Dasher is interviewing Benjamin, wants to get how he feels about his hot win he got over Xavier Woods earlier on tonight. And Shelton's like, well, I'm one of the top guys here. I came back. I didn't come back to be second fiddle and play around in the tag team. I came back to be a player here on SmackDown Live, and I feel my victory over Xavier Woods gives me rights to be the number 1 contender for the United States Championship. So I'm challenging Jeff Hardy to show up next week and accept my challenge, basically. Here's that women's tag match from earlier on. The Iconics will get the win this week. Peyton Royce rolls up Dakota Kai and pins her. So they're trading wins back and forth. Well, not back and forth. This is the Iconics' their first win, I believe, since the first week where they beat, was it Becky and Naomi? Paige is backstage again in her office, and Alexa Bliss walks in, and she tells Paige to stop stressing out. No, everything's fine about the women's division. She's like, oh, you've booked a lot of women's matches tonight. There's a lot of problems in the women's division. It looks as if you'd need a second title to keep all this locked down. And she's like, well, no. We need one title to find the top contender for that title. But then Alexa's like, you're not going to have a choice, because when I beat that bully Nia Jax at Backlash, I'm going to bring Raw's women's title over here as well, and we'll have both women's titles. And Paige is like, hey, I'm not going to be against that. So we'll see. Main event then, 8-man tag, here it is. And it's AJ, Finn and the gang, the Bullet Club, beating Miz and his Mr. Raj and Shinsuke. AJ pin Riddick Moss. Not much going on here. Just a nice little main event, 8-man tag, and a feel-good trip for this left team here, being back together. End the show with C-. Apparently we used both members of the Mr. Raj too much. And I feel like we're eventually going to be getting to the point soon where the storylines and everything picks up. So that was SmackDown, and next episode I'll join you for 205 Live. See you then.